Good morning, everybody. Just setting up the last few minutes. We'll be going live here. Just checking stuff on my end, making sure everything's hunky-dory. Good morning, Ace. Good morning, Giles, Ed. How's everybody doing this morning? So we're going to start off with the fantastic, wonderful, marvelous DXY index. So as you know, we have been trading sideways for the last couple weeks down here at this weekly level at 90 spot. Actually, it's 89 spot 931. Apologies. This is the last bearish close that we have on a weekly. And as you can see, we've tested it 3 times. So 3 weeks we've been down here testing this $90 area, and with not even, I don't believe we've gotten a daily. Yeah, we've gotten a couple dailies below it, but you can see it's definitely stalling out. So there's a trend line for you that goes from the high of April, which was this quarter start, the start of the second quarter, where we trended straight down. We have absolutely stalled out here. So basically this trend line was breached a few days ago, or yesterday. We traded up and had a nice fake out move to the downside. This is when I assumed that we were going to head lower, but we essentially have not done anything. So if you go to an 8-hour time frame, you can clearly see what some people are referring to as an inverse head and shoulders, which would put your neckline right up here about 90 spot 211. So you would need at least an 8-hour closure above that to confirm a breakout of that pattern. Now I do have 2 target sets up. You can see here our bullish target will be 90 spot 441. Bearish target 89 spot 535. Now I have no clue which one of these targets will be taken out first, but one of them will be taken out. We are almost at the midpoint of this essential range right here, with a bullish push last session. Okay, so now we're working on a retest of that daily Heath level or daily supply zone. You can see here the bottom of this bullish candle. You are testing it from the above side, all right, on the daily. So if you go into the 8-hour, you can see where you are getting that test right now for support. So this thing is looking like it is definitely wanting to start to try to move higher. You got 8-hour resistance at 90 spot 151 and daily resistance at 90 spot 176. This is just the near term, and as you can see on this 8-hour candle, that is the daily level as well. So a nice area of confluence right there. So basically it looks like it's wanting to try to go higher. So I guess we will have to look for bullish targets on this thing in the near term only. All right, now this doesn't mean that that target has to be taken out. This thing can go halfway up or even right up next to it and roll over and become bearish. But I think since so many people are bearish on the dollar, most everybody is only looking for short side setups on this. You are trading, where are we trading on the RSI on the daily? You are below 50 on the daily. You are in a downtrend, a long-term downtrend. You've been trading down for almost all of this year and almost all last year. So, well, at least since March of last year in the liquidation event that we had. Once we put in that high, you have just been going straight down. So the sellers are very aggressive on this thing, and they have pushed it all the way down there, but you can see how the sellers are lightening up. Why does this happen on the charts? Why does this kind of formation happen? Well, it's simple. Sellers, professional sellers, don't like selling at the lows. This is why you get consolidation at the bottom, because it essentially becomes a tugging war against the bulls and the bears, with the bears obviously not applying as much pressure as they were up here, right? So as long as this thing is trading sideways here, there really isn't much to do. It's very difficult to basically pick these moves, these trending moves, because as a trader, a day trader / swing trader, any kind of trader, you're looking for trending moves, right? The trending moves is generally when you're going to make the most money. When I take a day trade, I'm always looking for that thing to continue in my direction, right? Take 2/3 of my position off at my profit target. in not expecting it, but assuming it may continue to the upside or to the downside, depending on the trade, essentially. So it doesn't always work, right? So, but if you're going to be looking for stuff like that to happen, is the dollar going to stall here? Is it going to head higher? It's possible. So this is why I lay out bearish and bullish targets, as it gives me an idea as to which direction I might be looking for. When you're in the middle of the range, it's a little bit more difficult. Is it possible for you to get a bullish spike all the way up to 90 spot full 41 in one day? It absolutely is. We've seen it do bigger ranges than that in a day. So basically, since you've got daily resistance just overhead, this would be an area where you would want to look to take that position. So how does this translate? If we go into the EURUSD, the EURUSD is the most heavily weighted currency in the DXY. All right, so you can see here that the euro is already testing 8-hour support right there. So it makes it a little bit difficult because I can't trade the DXY outright. It's a CFD product, and it's mainly just used to measure the weight of these currencies. So the way we trade it is we trade it with an FX paired, or an FX currency paired against the dollar. Euro USD, pound dollar. These are the two majors. You can see the pound is having a nice big strong bullish move on the day. Well, if the dollars have this move becomes suspect, is it possible for the pound USD and just the DXY to go up at the same time? It absolutely is. If the pound dollar is, if the pound, the British pound is stronger than the dollar, it will go up versus the dollar. All right. But the euro is putting in a bearish 8-hour session. The pound is putting in a bullish one. This is possibly a selling opportunity. All right. I am longer term bullish on the pound. All right. I have an entry on one account all the way down here. So I obviously want this thing to continue to the upside. You have not taken out major supports yet on the daily or the 8-hour on the pound. As you can see, you essentially traded down into this bullish Heath level right here a couple days ago, and that is where you stalled. Yesterday, you traded all the way down to the support of that daily candle, which would be the closing price of it, and you tested it and you traded back to the upside. This is normal when you come into support to get these kind of bounces. All right. Yesterday, even though it was a green day, it is not bullish, as in the fact that it only traded up to the midpoint of this bearish candle. That is usually met with consolidation and then more sell side activity. So here is your daily bearish support zone, or resistance. Apologies, it's a bit early. I just got started on my Red Bull, so apologies. All right, but anyways, what I'm trying to say here, I have multiple Forex accounts, so I can be short and long on the same asset. If you only have one FX account, and if you are long the pound from down here, I am not saying that you should exit that position and put on a short. That is not what I'm saying. All right. What I'm saying is I am going to be looking to throw on a short right here. It's in an uptrend. It's above all of its daily moving averages. It has nothing to do with that. It's simply price action is showing me that it's having a hard time going down or going up. Couple that with the fact that the DXY has been bottomed out for essentially 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks now, and it looks like it's putting in some bullish activity. We could be seeing it turn around. I'm not looking for bullishness on the dollar, just more or less probably for that bullish target to be taken out up here at 94.41. Because once you take that target out, you will have essentially taken out all that liquidity. At that point, the sellers might continue to push this thing lower. It's sometimes you will get that on moves like this, all right? Especially at very crucial key levels. This is a key level. It halted the decline, all right, back in January. This is where it found support. Then you had a nice move to the upside, which was essentially just for one solid quarter, you moved to the upside, and for one solid quarter, you moved to the downside. Now, it is June. Today, we have ADP employment change and initial jobless claims, the 4-week average on the jobless claims. So there are going to be some volatile markets possibly today. Tomorrow, being Friday, you have June's NFP, non-farm payrolls, and CAD unemployment. So you're going to see some volatility tomorrow. Now, 2 weeks from now, on the 16th, the 15th and 16th is when we have our FOMC meeting. So this could be why the dollar is stalling here in the beginning of June. Could be waiting for that. So we could see some bullish activity if the sellers are holding off, if the sellers are waiting for the quarterly projection from the Fed on the 16th of June, you will see some bullishness. All right. We got a weekly level of resistance at 90.832. This would be a fantastic area for sellers to continue pushing this thing lower if that's what their intentions are. All right. So this is why I am looking for a little bit of near-term downside on the euro dollar and the pound dollar. And once again, I must reiterate the fact that I can be wrong. I have been wrong before, and I will be wrong again. This is trading. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We have to just basically follow price. And right now, to me, price looks like it is trying to get a breakdown to the downside. You are testing support on the euro. Excuse me. So does the euro look like a good short? Well, no, we're testing support. I don't want to take a short into support ever. So just put that in, just remember that little rhyme. I never want to short into support. It's simple because this could stall. It could turn around here. And also, where are you going to put your stop? There's no really good swing high to do that. So your risk to reward is non-existent. Whereas if you look at the pound dollar, where we at right here, you're trading into resistance. So you have also taken out this wick. This wick is still good. So you may get a push up to there. Then again, you may roll over from here. All right. My first bearish target on the pound will be this wick low that was put in yesterday. All right. That would be my first bullet or short target. I'm actually wanting to see this thing push up above this wick here before I look to enter this position short. As long as if I start getting hourly closures above this level and then the next level at one spot 42061, this short is scrapped. I'm not looking for it. This is quite a bit of bullish momentum coming off from this low. All right, but it isn't nothing compared to what you may see if you do get that push from the news up into here to finish liquidating all of these people who are starting to get short or who got short over here. All right, so basically there's a lot of higher buyers setting in the market right above one spot 41,970. If you got higher buyers and you're looking to be a seller, wouldn't you like to sell to those higher buyers? All right, so that's what we're waiting on the pound dollar. I am waiting for this spike up. Then I will possibly get short, looking for this thing to continue down for at least the next few days. First bearish target would have to be the low of day, but this is the main target, yesterday's low. The thing that I'm not liking so much about it is you can see how the pound is trading sideways. All right, you come down here, you put in this low, then you act bullish. Then you come back down and you sweep these lows over here, taking this out, and then what? You go up, taking this out, then you're back down, then you're back up, boom, you just took this out, now we're back down. So this and this has to be the near-term targets. All right, and like I said, I could be wrong. The way that I'll know if I'm wrong is if we keep getting higher highs and higher lows on an hourly closing basis. But I am watching 141.905 and 142.061 to take a short position today on the pound dollar. Let me see here. What else was there? I don't really think I have anything else. The Aussie's been trading absolutely freaking sideways for so long. Like I've really been paying attention to it. I did attempt to take a short on the Aussie yen earlier on in the week. That short was a failed position. I took it off at break even, and then we had this spike up. So to me, it looks like it wants to roll over. It's losing momentum. It's putting in this wedging formation. This is generally indicative of usually bearishness will follow moves like this. All right. because basically it tells a story, right? The bulls are pushing price up, but once they get up here to these highs, they are letting up for whatever reason. They just do not want to buy it higher. So we will see what happens. If it breaks out and continues to the upside, that would be fantastic, as the trend is up. And only at that point would I start to become bear or bullish on it again. All right, because it's simply just not showing us anything. When it trades choppy and sideways like this, it's almost impossible to get a fantastic trade, because you may be in it good for one day and then the next you're stopped out, right? So kind of just waiting to see, let the Aussie yen do what it wants to do. The Aussie's been weak, or weaker, I should say, than a lot of other assets. Let's go look at the Japanese yen index. You can see the Japanese yen index is chopping around down here at the lows as well. So this asset's been extremely weak, but it's also having a hard time penetrating beyond those lows. We did take out these swings down here, but you can see that you are trying to get another bullish pop. These moves are generally looked sold into, right? If you're in a downtrend, any pops in price are generally met with having selling, as then you have a better risk to reward for downside positions. But when you're in support, there is no chance of that. That's why these things do this. I was watching Euro Aussie for someone yesterday morning. We were looking for it to continue to the upside. The reason why it failed is essentially because Aussie is a piece of garbage right now. There's nothing else to say. Aussie dollar is doing absolutely nothing. The pound or the euro is also stalling at highs. So yeah, see, I would be just chilling out on looking for bullish positions on it just yet. If you get a breakout to the upside, then you can look for a support test or a higher low support, looking for bullish entries. As of right now, it's looking droopy. It's looking like it wants to roll over. You're not printing any divergences anymore. You were over here, but you could say that move's already played out with a 1-2 legs to the downside there, and obviously it was bought back up. So it can be bullish. It can be bullish, all right? You are above your 50 area. You are trading above all your major moving averages. They are, let's see what they are doing. Not this thing, this thing over here. They are pointed up. So, I mean, the risk is to the upside. It looks like it wants to go lower, though. You know what I mean? It's just because of this such section of price action. It's just been doing nothing for the last couple weeks. But the trend is to the upside. All right, so I have to reiterate the fact that even though everything is situated bullish on the pound, I am only looking for a near-term trade, meaning it could possibly hit targets by today or tomorrow, and then I am no longer looking for shorts on this. This is structured to the bullish side of things. This is why you keep getting bought back up at the lows. You have not purged any daily supports. Here is your last daily support. And this one you have is a little bit lower, right? So you haven't been able to close below it. That means the buyers are buying it. It's just I guess you could say I'm just looking for a little bit of a short side play to go down, and then maybe make this asset look a little bit more attractive for the bulls to pick it back up and move it for higher prices. Because in the longer term, this thing is definitely looking like it's trying to break out of its lifetime downtrend. All right, that's the reason why I'm bullish on it, more so than bearish, because even on the log chart, this thing is trading above this trend line that has basically been the pounds ever since it gets tagged. It's headed lower. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, you get a breakout above this thing, you can see prices as high as 148, 150, 155, even 160. So we'll see what happens on the pound, and you can still reject here and roll back over, but we will see. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at on that. So if you were trading the Euro Aussie, just please don't be messing with it anymore, as this thing is just going to do whatever the Euro does and the Aussie does. It's not really doing anything. It did have this rounded bottom, and I can see why it is attractive to go long. You have broken out above resistance right here. So maybe another test is in this thing's future. So watch one spot 56692. As long as you cannot close daily candles below that level, you can look for bullish setups. All right. You are in a downtrend longer term, but the near term you have probably found a low. I mean, why do I keep clicking that? So here you go. You're also finding your 200 exponential moving average on the Euro Aussie. That's a pretty good reason why it's having troubles getting a breakout. So let's go look at the asset everybody came here to see. Let me go over here. I just wanted to get the FX stuff situated first this morning. All right, Mr. Bitcoin working on breaking out of this descending pennant pattern, bear flag, whatever you want to call it. You are getting a breakout or attempting a breakout on this today. This is the daily Heath level, aka supply zone. You have gotten above that, so now you will be watching the resistance. The resistance is at 39,293 spot 23. This level here. If you get a daily closure above that level, you can look for a possible pullback and bullish entries for a higher low support targeting this wick high here, as long as if on this push it doesn't take that level out first. All right, if this level gets taken out, your next target will be that 42,605. All right, so basically what you need to see is a daily push, a daily close above 39,293. Then you will look for higher low support. You can find it at possibly 38,317, or this bearish candle's opening price at 37,301, or this trend line. Either way, all right? But let me say this, you are not looking for bullish setups or intraday trades on this asset if you fail to close above 39,293. So is there a trade on Bitcoin today? There was, and my man Path took it, right? It's already been taken. The trade has already happened. Here was your trade right here. Boom, that is your move, right? So this is your daily range expansion to the upside. Looking for a pullback now, you can possibly get that and look for a little bit more continuation, but just know that you have already put in a pretty nice move. 3% on Bitcoin is nothing. I know this, you know this, but you are trying to break out of this wedge formation. So it has to do so first. An hourly breakout does not constitute a breakout. A daily breakout does. So you need this thing to close higher today. Then tomorrow have a red day, and on that day you will be looking for bullish entries. That would be the higher probable setup on the Bitcoin right now. If you're not trading Bitcoin leveraged, if you are hodling for 5, 10, 15 years down the road, is this a great spot to buy Bitcoin? I bought Bitcoin down here, right? Once we got that this wick to the downside, the next time we went down to test it, I bought it. Anytime I get a red weekly, I buy it. I'm not trading Bitcoin, I am accumulating it. I want as much of it as I can hold. So I might not sell my core position. I haven't decided yet. It's not really life-changing money quite yet, so there is no reason to mess with that position. I have a very nice and situated cost basis on it, so I'm probably just going to let it ride out and see what it wants to do. I am not bearish on Bitcoin, all right? I keep getting a lot of questions, emails, and instant messages asking me, why have I called a top? Because I said this looks like a blow-off top. Why am I calling a bear market? Because I said what a bear market is. Bitcoin is different, guys. When I gave you the definition for a bear market, that is what Google has as the definition, not me. That's what Google has. And it's probably more sorted towards the S&P 500, as that's the example they use. Bitcoin is different. You can have a 20-30% move in Bitcoin in one day. This asset is different. It's new. It's only been around 15 years, so it's going to take a while for it to get really adopted. So I'm not bearish on it. I'm still buying it. I love it, but I'm not trading it. I trade everything else. Forex, all the other cryptos, stocks, options. I don't need to trade Bitcoin, and I don't trade ETH either. I do trade ETH BTC occasionally on my Kraken account, but I'm mainly accumulating ETH and Bitcoin. All right, ETH, you're testing resistance. All right, right now, this resistance. So if you were following this channel from a few days ago, I said here was your capitulation wick to the downside. You took that out with this push lower. You came up, you closed the daily candle. This is exactly what I said, word for word. You closed the daily candle above your last daily resistance at 2775.07. Now this becomes your resistance. I said you are looking for a higher low support to be formed. Unless you take out this bearish candle. If you do not take this bearish candle out, you are looking for bullish entries, looking for a higher high, as you will have started a new uptrend on a daily time frame. This was the level that you had to break. You got the break and a close above. Then you had 3 days of consolidation, came right into the daily Heath level, or the daily demand zone, or the daily order block, or the daily support, whatever you want to call it, guys. I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm trying to simplify this. Anyways, you traded right down into it. As soon as you took this bearish candle's high out, you were no longer looking for shorts right there. And you got a fantastic strong daily close above this high. So now what are you looking for? You're looking for pullbacks into this candle's range to look for bullish setups targeting this wick high, right? This is how professionals trade. That's what you need to start to look for. Here was your high or low support. You are testing resistance. Are you looking to get bullish on ETH right now? No. Why? You are into resistance. You do not buy assets into resistance. You buy them when they test support. This was your support test. This was your support test. You had 2 days to get long on this. All right. So there is no setup from here on out as far as I'm concerned. What you will be waiting for is a daily closure above 288 or 2889 spot 84. Get a daily closure above there. You'll be looking for a higher low support to be formed, possibly about this candle's opening price. So we will call that support. Boom. You also have a trend line. It's only been tested twice. Well, I guess you can call this a... So there you go. You got 3 tests. No, wait. Never mind. Sorry. I put the wrong trend line on there, so I'm looking for it to go down. But no, this right here and this right here is what I tacked it with. So let's get rid of that so I don't do that again, as I look like an idiot. Here we go. There. So you have a trend line down there as well. So if you get a push higher today, say you close up here, you will be looking for a pullback into support, and at that point you will be trying to get long, and you will be targeting your next area of resistance, which will be this Heath level right there at 32.83. That's if you get this daily closure today. If you fail to close above that, you will not be looking for bullish entries until it has successfully found support again. But this will be your target. This is where you will be needing to take off some profits, move your stop to break even. This game isn't about making money. It's about not losing money. Each trade you take, instead of calculating how much money you may or may not make on it, instead, when you place a trade, see how quick you can get your risk off the table. As if you aren't risking anything, it becomes a whole lot easier for your P&L to stop going down and start moving up. All right? I'm not looking to make a set amount of money when I trade. I am simply trying not to lose any money when I take a trade. That is it. I do not care how much I make or how far it goes. The main objective for me is to manage my trades in a manner to which I take all of my risk off the table. And that's why I take 2/3 of my position off when I am hitting my daily objectives, reaching either daily highs or daily lows depending on my target. Once I remove that as 2/3 profit, the trade has been successful. The risk is completely gone. I still have a decent sized position, right? A decent sized position for a possible swing trade if it wants to continue. And this is why I do it, right? I'm only aiming at next areas of resistance, because once you get there, you don't know what's going to happen. And let's be honest, you don't even know if you're going to get there. So we have to let this daily play out. Today it will be vital on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Got to get a test, a break, a close on a daily basis above your resistance. That would look fantastic. Now don't be alarmed. You will start to see more aggressive selling coming in once you start getting up on these higher highs, because you will essentially be about the midpoint of this range and people will be looking to exit their positions. You have already closed the daily above your 382, your 0.5 level, your 50% retracement of this leg to the downside is right above you at 30.56. This is another reason why you will be looking for targets if you are looking for long setups, because you will see some aggressive selling at these two levels, more than likely, because people will be looking to jump ship. Anybody who thinks that Bitcoin has put in a top, they will be looking to exit their position. If you remember, I've been saying this ever since we were on this capitulation candle. Then I put in this fib retracement to that capitulation low and said, watch for a test of these three areas and look out for some serious selling. Okay? So if the bulls can thwart it, though, that would be fantastic, as that selling will give us an opportunity to buy higher lows. If you start making lower lows and lower highs on a daily again, then you may be in trouble, but we will see what happens when we get there. This is a big range candle. This range needs to be filled out. It looks like that's what it's trying to do. On completion of filling out this candle's range, then we will have to see where price goes from there. I did call out a setup on MATIC yesterday on the Twitter feed and in my Discord, or the Discords. It did not work out so swell, right? It did for an intraday trade, and that's all I was looking at on it was an intraday scalp. This here, right? I was targeting high of day. I did not take it on MATIC. I took it on LINK, but MATIC and LINK looked exactly the same. Let me go over here to LINK. So I was looking at the same thing, right? So this is what I did when we pushed down into this level here yesterday on this. Well, I got long on this test here. Boom, got long. My stop was directly below this low of this hourly candle. It was literally like, this was like it was an insane trade. It was like a 15-to-1 risk to reward. It was insane. On this wick lower, I did not get stopped out, which was crazy. If this would have been Forex, that wick would have been enough to stop me out, right? But KuCoin, so far, I'm loving the asset, or loving that platform. The Futures Pro platform on KuCoin, absolutely loving it. This push down did not stop me out. I stayed in the trade up here. Once I took out the high of day, I exited 2/3 of my position size, moved my stop up above break even, and last night when this pushed lower, it took me out of the trade. Right then, you got this, right? Am I upset? Absolutely not. Why? This trade was successful. This trade was successful. I shall not let this hurt my feelings, right? I will wait on a higher low to form somewhere on this asset, looking for higher highs to continue, as that seems to be the near-term trend on some of these assets. All right, you've already testing above your last 8-hour resistance. Next 8-hour resistance will be this closing candle here. You're already above that. Can you stay above that on a closing basis? We shall see. There is an area of resistance right above you coming in here. You can see this bearish candle traded right up into this order block. Heath level supply area traded lower. I just like to call them resistances, but it confuses people because I'm looking at the opening price of a bullish candle as resistance for the trend to continue to the downside. So assuming when you get up in there and you test that level, you're looking for bearish continuation. If you get a closure above that area, then the closing price of that same bullish candle will be the resistance level, as this is a level you are simply looking for bearish continuation from. All right, but as of right now, the near-term trend on most of these assets is up. You haven't completely made a higher high on LINK yet. Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Right there. That was your higher high. Took out this high on a closing basis. Higher low. So it's fantastic. It looks good, but you're coming into an area, like I said, you might see some intensified selling in the next few days. Everything looks the same. All these crypto assets essentially look the same. Look at BNB having a nice move. You did not get that higher closing high on this, but you have got it now. You haven't closed above it, but you have made a higher high. So even if this candle turns into a rejection candle and trades all the way back down at 343, you will have put in a higher high. This was your higher low. So your trend is starting to move back to the upside. On BNB on the daily, your next area of resistance is going to be 563.265 up here, or you can simply get rid of all those levels and throw in your retracement tool, as this is what it is for. From the high to the low of that price leg, you will be looking for intensified selling at the 452.328 or 509.260. These two levels, you will possibly see some rejections happening. All right, so don't get your bull britches on just yet. You have to get above those areas on a daily closing basis to basically have repaired this move lower. And yes, that is what we all want, is for this thing to repair and start making higher highs and higher lows. And we want the all-time high to be smoked. I am bullish on Bitcoin. I just don't like the price action. As of right now, this is nothing to me. It still looks terrible. I hate to say that to everybody because I know everybody wants to see this thing get back up at 65K. Bitcoin's got a lot of work to do, guys. A lot of work to do. If you look at this thing into perspective, you can see just how much work it has to do. So, but this is good. This is what we want to see on it. We definitely want to see it start to repair itself and fill out at least this candle's range. From there, I have no clue what it's going to do. All right. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, MATIC will probably continue to move higher as long as these other things do. You can clearly see, I really thought it was going to be a nice setup for everybody yesterday. I didn't expect it to do what it did, but that's trading. Hopefully, if you took the trade, you managed your risk and you didn't get hurt when you came back down here to stop us out, right? So if you're still looking on it, you want to see this thing find support somewhere, but you're trading still under daily resistance. Here's your daily resistance on MATIC, 1.8743, right? So you need a daily closure above that. Then you can look for a test of 18248, this level here, for bullish entries, targeting this wick first, and then this wick, and then this wick, and so on and so forth. So now that I have been rambling on for 40 minutes, what is going on, guys? Let me go up here and read the chat. Make sure there's nothing there I need to see. Perfect. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Do you see a triple bullish divergence on the daily, sir? Since that's at the very beginning of the stream, I'm assuming you're talking about DXY, a triple bullish divergence. I don't really care about bullish divergence so much, and no. Hidden bullish divergence is when price is making lower lows on price but making higher lows on the RSI. I don't see any bullish divergence. Unless you're called, yeah, I mean, yeah. Here to here, that's bullish divergence. I don't know if I'd call it triple bullish divergence. It's just, you got to understand something about these oscillators. They are calculated by price. It's mathematically derived by the closing of price. So wherever this price closes, that will then be calculated into the RSI, and that's what dictates the way it moves. So I'm only looking at this thing to see momentum, and clearly the downside momentum has waned. So that's all I'm looking at. It does have bullish divergence on it, but you could argue that from this swing low to this swing high, let me bring it up here to you, from this swing low to this swing high, that bullish divergence played out, right? So you're making higher or lower or higher lows on price. You're also making higher lows on this. Yeah, and it is dropping. We were looking for resistance to happen. There is a bunch of it up there, right? So now that pound trade's probably not looking so good. The news doesn't come out until 8 o'clock. So just hang on, guys. Hang on. All right? Already tested it. And remember, I'm bullish. I got a long trade in this thing. So that's the direction I want it to continue. So we'll see what happens. We got some news coming up today. Some news coming up tomorrow. So we'll have a better situation of what's going on after that. Good morning, Giles, Ed. A lot of good mornings. Michelle, Leon, Flo, A, Spread Armstrong, Alice, Monique, Philip. Thank you guys so much. Please do MATIC USD. Thank you. Also, please tell me which exchange do you recommend for shorting cryptocurrency? KuCoin, Kraken, especially shorting Dogecoin. I'm using KuCoin for right now. I'm not saying that you should. It did have a hack last year. KuCoin's exchange got hacked last year, so you got to keep that in mind when you put funds on it. But as far as trading goes so far, it's a fantastic platform. Have we gone over MATIC yet? These are all earlier on in the stream, so I'm sure that they have seen it. Thanks again, wonderful Heath. Is KuCoin and KuCoin futures the same? Which one is good for shorting cryptocurrencies? No, it's not. When you pull up KuCoin, it's got a couple different options. It's going to give you a spot, and they call it like it's a different account. So you can literally have 3 accounts on KuCoin. You can have a spot account, you can have a margin account, and you can have a futures account. I have spot and margin, but I didn't have a lot of success on the margin trading application. I was having difficulties just figuring it out, as it was a little complicated at first. Once I found out the futures platform, the Futures Pro, the order type is similar to Forex and other things, so it's more familiar to me. The order type, actually putting in the orders, to me it's more familiar, so that's why I like it better. The Futures Pro. The Futures Pro, there is a lot less assets you can trade. If you open a KuCoin margin account, there are hundreds of crypto assets you can trade. Hundreds of them. Yeah. I'll do a tutorial video on it. I've had a lot of people ask me to do that. However, I must say this, I'm new to it. So there are already a bunch of YouTube videos out there explaining KuCoin's platform. So if you need to do some research, I guess go watch. I can't say that I know any of those people, or are they telling you the right info? I don't know, but generally it's just a platform. It's like every other platform. So you can pretty much figure out it on YouTube. US oil, absolutely. US oil has been crushing it. US oil was probably one of the best trades of all time. Sorry about hitting the mic. You have basically, when you went down and traded beyond negative, that would have been a fantastic position to get entered if you could have. It's highly unlikely that anybody did. I'm sure a few people did, but yeah, from $0 to 60, it's a fantastic trade. Fantastic trade. It's just been going straight up. Straight up. There is nothing to do on it. Let's see how you're situated on an RSI. You see, like from all the way over here to here, I do not like to call that divergence, as this is February 2021, right? We're in June. So like it would have mattered in this section of price. People would have been seeing this divergence. Then they got short, and that divergence played out with this move lower. Then you had a retest and then another push lower, and that was as low as it went. That was your divergence playing out. Your oscillator reset by going back down beneath 50, went into the bearish control zone, traded under there for a little while. Let me throw this on here so you can see why it's so important that you know where that 50 spot is on that tool if you're going to use it. Right there, right? You can see how it was acting as resistance on the actual tool itself. Boom, boom. Then you got to break above it. Look at this. Boom. Bullish. Test below it. Break back above it. You're bullish. I mean, you're looking for bullish entries, but not up here as you're getting high on momentum. So you are trading at almost exhaustion risk. All right. This was a nice pullback and a nice area of consolidation. So a measured move on this. Let's just do a random here. Let's just do it over here so my magnet tool doesn't affect me. So you could just do something like this, right? A measured move would put you roughly in the $77 area, but that doesn't have to play out. And it would probably be lower also. Yeah, much lower. Right in there. So 72 bucks, right? You need a pullback, at least to support. Oh shit. Let me get us off. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So you're looking for a support test, right? This was your resistance here, and you can clearly see that it was resistance. You did get a closure above, but just barely. Boom, rejection. Back up to it. Test, break. Test. See ya. So this is going to be another area to watch here, right? Get down there. There you go. 66.89. A push to that area might be a good spot to look for higher low support. Looking for bullish continuation. It is bullish. You do not want to buy it today. You just took out these highs. You are trading lower. Is it pulling back? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here, if you do want to take a bullish position on this asset today, you got to see 68.74 hold as support on an hourly closing basis. Get rid of these damn moving averages. I only care about the moving averages and where they are on the daily. Do not care about any other time frame. And I'm only looking at them to see how much momentum price has. So where is it in relationship to price? If it's completely very far away from the fastest moving average at the 21 EMA, then you know you are completely overextended and you are waiting for a return to the mean, a pullback, before you're looking for bullish entries. So basically you're getting that now. This was your bullish breakout move. You can see that whole move has been retraced. This is generally not what you want to see on a bullish asset. It is possible, however. You got one here, right? There's your breakout above resistance, and then the whole move got retraced. Then it consolidated and had bullish continuation. The higher it goes, the more volatile it would get. The bigger the bearish candles will get when they happen. Watch this level. All right, you've already traded through it, so essentially, yeah, you get it. You want to see this thing close above, and I wouldn't take it on this one either. I would wait on the next one, because this could just be a fake out one. Get it push higher, and then boom, a drop. So around 7-8 o'clock in the morning, if this thing is still holding above resistance, yeah, it might be worth taking a swing at it, looking for the daily high or right under the daily high as your first profit objective. It's extremely bullish, but I don't like buying highs, guys. I hate it. In fact, it's like, would I be taking this trade? No. I want to pull back all the way to 66.89 before I like it for bullish entries, right? So I would not take it. But if you are wanting to, there you go. Make sure you control how much risk you apply. Hope that helps, Alice. Morning from Pakistan, says Ahmed. Morning, Ahmed. Welcome. FRIGO, please. Absolutely. FRIGO. Frigo. Not pulling anything up, but something's wrong with my trading view. Alright, so let's try it now. FRIGO. Alright, so I don't know what's going on with TradingView, but there it is. So this is what exhaustion risk look like, right? You get trading up, extended, very extended, and then boom, big drop. So basically what you've done is you've taken out all of this to the downside. This is your last daily close. You took that out as well. So if it's going to continue from here to remain bullish, because make no mistake, it is bullish, but it looks like Bitcoin kind of. You've dropped beneath all your moving averages on a daily closing basis, so probably not bullish. So I take that back. 67 is definitely not bullish, but you got to get some repairs. If you're looking for bullish entries, do I think that it's went high enough? I mean, has it came low enough? Yeah, technically, but it can always go lower. So just if you're looking to buy it and hold it, make sure you put a stop in, just the low of this swing, right? That way, if you get a close below there or a push lower, you know you were wrong. And you can manage that risk if you use, I don't know what you're trading with, so I can't even presume to tell you how to manage your own risk, but you definitely want to manage your risk. You are trading into a daily supply zone right now. If you get a close above it, then you can look for a test of 24.05, as then you will find more resistance. You will be coming into the moving averages as well as this supply zone up here. So would I be looking for this one to hold it? Not necessarily. I think this is the better area for shorts to get re-involved if they're going to make it continue to the downside. You have made a downtrend, so the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. You take out this swing high, then you have made a higher high, and your trend may be changing. Then that's probably when I would start looking for bullish entries, but not until then, unless I'm just buying it to hold it for 10 years down the road, as it doesn't matter, because you're expecting it to be higher later. Cardano for Michelle. Let's go check it out. All right, looking good. It's looking fantastic. It has, excuse me, it has gotten that break above resistance, but it hasn't closed yet. It's going to be all day, right? But it's looking good. It's looking fantastic. You put in a lower or a higher low. Even on this one, you didn't take out your capitulation low. You put in a higher low there, fantastic. This wasn't a higher high yet, but now you got it, right? You got it now. So you took out this swing high. So you essentially have higher highs and higher lows on a daily. So that's what you want to see for the repair to begin. Where are you in reference to the top of this asset? You're trading roughly around 24% off the highs. It looks fantastic. Cardano is repairing itself nicely. However, you're going to run into the same problem. That was resistance. It did not hold. It has so far been broken. However, if you close back below it, it will have held. Next, do the same thing. Throw a fib retracement tool on it, as it will give you levels when there aren't any. That's the only reason I use the fib tool. You are testing your 618 right now. Would be fantastic if Cardano could close above that. That price is 1.8836399. Daily closure above that, and then a retest with a bearish candle down into this bearish candle and a hold would be fantastic, as you will have repaired this demon drop. All right, it's looking good. It's testing the 618 already. I don't think anything else is. All right, fantastic. You're definitely not wanting to buy in front of that. You are not looking to buy this today. Give it a day or two to see what happens, and then look for bullish entries. Please do not buy this today. Can it go higher and make me look like an idiot? Yes, but you don't want to buy into resistance. And make no mistake, that 618 is going to act as resistance, even if for just a day. And Ace says USD Mexican, USD MXN, Mexican peso. Loving life, probably. Let's see what we're doing. Trading on the lows, bouncing around, absolutely not doing anything. So this is down here on the lows like the dollar, but you would think the peso would be able to at least make this thing do something different. This was your support. This, technically, I would tell you to use this as support, because it is a lower close, and you can throw a line down there if you wish. I don't like it, and I'm going to tell you why. This was a bear trap. You got daily close below and then immediate rejection, and you took out the high of that candle. So this was a bear trap. This is still going to act as support. So a push down into 19 spot 81915 is a possible area to look for bullish entries. I know it's stalling out to the upside, but it's also stalling out to the downside. And if you look at these closes, you can see you are getting higher closes, right? This was the first time you took out and made a lower close. Since all the way down here, this could be a pullback. Here would be your demand zone. This I do not like. I don't like trading this asset anyways because of how big it is, and like it's kind of, I just don't like it. Anytime I have a stop loss I'm looking for a 10 pip stop loss on this thing, it would be like 600 pips to equal a regular standard 10 pip stop size. So I just don't like it. I just don't like that stuff. That's why I stay away from these exotics. This daily looks terrible. This daily looks like you're having bearish continuation, and it's possible. So look for a retest of 19.81915. Daily closure below that, you're coming back down here, and this will be your target, this wick low. That's only if you get a daily closure below this level here. There's nothing else to do or say because you've been breaking all of your resistances. This is your last and highest close, 19.96905. So that's going to remain your resistance. This is your support. But you are what you're looking for. I don't know. The trend is down. It's down, right? Long term, near term, every term. It's down. Down to sideways. We had a short entry today. Oh, you were looking for a short. See, that's fantastic trading. Did you take it? Yeah, it's beautiful. That's what you're looking for. Something like that. That would have been a hard. I would have gotten stopped out because I would have put my stop above that bullish candle's close, and that would have took me out. That's another reason why I don't like trading this thing. Look at it. It's crazy, jagged, big bounces, and then it trades sideways, and then big moves to the downside. It's just choppy and sideways. You're just trading into support now, Ace. So this might not have been a short yet. You would be aiming for the daily low. Today's the 3rd, so where is your daily low? Here is your daily low. Well, if you use when the candle was made at yesterday at 1700 o'clock, this is your daily low down here. So that's the target, and even after that gets taken out, this thing could turn around and go back to the upside. Try to look at it in more as, like, even if you would have been bullish here and you would have been targeting this, it wouldn't have been successful, right? Trading, it's hard to be right all the time, so just manage your risk, and especially on something that's this jagged and iffy. There is a trend line there, so be careful. All right. Something like that. I don't know. I don't like it, but if you got short and you're in profits, congratulations. You might want to think about taking some of that profits. All right, guys, I didn't get to answer any questions, and I apologize for that because I just rambled on for too long. But I do have to call it. I will go ahead and look at, could you give a look and give your input? I did pound dollar at the beginning of the thing, Mr. Isaac, so if you just rewind it, it's time for me to go. I'll look at pound yen real quick, and then I gotta bounce. I apologize about that, guys, but I take the questions as they come in, and I put more weight on the super chats. So if I miss your question and you still want me to answer it, just drop it down in the comment section of this video, and I will do my best to answer it as I try to answer most questions. The daily on pound yen looks fantastic. It's absolutely structured to the bullish side. You did not get a test of old support. You found new support. So this bearish close is going to be new support until it's not, right? You are trading up. This was a big, fantastic breakout. When you see a candle like this on a daily basis and it closes up on the high of the candle, usually if that's going to be a trap, the next day it will reverse. You did not get that. You are only looking for bullish entries on this asset. I would not be looking to take bullish entries now because you're trading into resistance. All right. There is, however, something that you can do if you go into the smaller time frame charts, the intraday charts. Wait for this thing to come off of daily highs and look for higher low support intraday. All right. You might see that at around 155, 458. If you do get a pullback, if it continues to move up, there's nothing to do. You definitely do not FOMO buy into this because it can turn around. You are trading into an hourly supply zone right now. So people that are trying to short this are trying to do so right now. So you're definitely not wanting to buy it up here. Buy it somewhere down here, right? 155, 508 or whatnot. And then you have at least a low to put your stop under, right? For your risk. All right, guys, I have to say thank you so much to my channel members and Patreons. For you guys are fantastic. If your name's not on here, just understand that I do this once a week. I change it once a week. It's impossible to do it every day because it's always changing. But thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. When you do stuff like this, it shows me that you absolutely respect my work, and that's fantastic. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And for the rest of you, like I said, if I missed your comment or your question, just drop it down in the comments section of today's video when it gets posted on YouTube, and I will take a look at your asset and maybe give you at least 2 areas to watch. And with that being said, guys, make sure you trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading, everybody.